Okay folks, we're back at our Mortlake apiary. What we're going to do, we're going to swap the bees into this box here. I've got some work I want to do on their existing box. So I actually inherited this box. This is one of the few hives that I purchased as a working hive. And so there's a few things that I don't like about it, and one thing is that the actual box is glued to the baseboard. So we're going to be fixing that in the workshop, but of course we've got to get the bees out to do that. So we're racing the weather today. It's not an ideal day to do it. It's about 11 degrees going up to 12 when the sun comes out. So it's not ideal, but I really need to get this equipment fixed up, ready for a hive removal that I'm doing on the weekend. So really can't leave it any longer. So we're going to get these girls set up in the new box and take this home to do the work on it. So we've got a bit of water. We've had a bit of a water problem, moisture problem. That's one thing I've got to do with this lid, is to add some ventilation, add more ventilation into it. And that we did have water pooling at the bottom in this hive too. So that's part of the reason, because it's all sealed up at the bottom. There's no way for the water to drain out. So that's part of what we've got to actually fix. So now, of course, there is mould. It is winter. There will be mould. And like I said, these girls have had a bit of a damp problem too, because of the lack of any real ventilation. So I might have to put the camera down to yeah. I'll try and get as much as I can filmed, and we'll see how we go from there. So I haven't got my hive tool with me today. Good population. Good population. You see they've built a bit on the bottom. There's nothing in that, we can pull that out. So we're checking for food stores, which they've got really good. And we're pretty much going to put these in the same order they come out in. So we're going to swap them over one by one. And we're racing the rain here, so we've got to work quickly. That frame probably needs to be stripped and re-waxed, but I won't worry about doing it. Come on girl, settle down. So we've got some good food stores. We certainly don't need to feed these girls. And they're still bringing in food as well, despite the weather. So It's the great thing about these girls is that they aren't too picky about the weather that they go out in. If it's warm enough for them to go out, they'll go out. Yep, more good food stools. No sign of any brood right now. That's to be expected given their numbers. Yeah, sometimes you can't get them to build on a frame, so we're going to leave that frame out. There's no point in putting that in. Some good food stores on that frame. What we might do is turn that frame around so the food stores are facing into the hive. Bit of food stores there. Some fresh food. So we've got a little bit of a nectar flow going on at the moment, and yes, we've got some. Yeah, like I said, we've had a moisture problem. There's some pretty nasty mould growth. They'll clean that up though. Good pollen stores though. This hive box here should be a lot drier for them, so no, that's right. We only fit 9 frames in this box. What we might do, we might put that frame in for now. Close this up. That way we've got 9 frames in the box. So they're swapped over. Now we've got to get everybody here into there. That's going to be the fun part. So what we do, we sit this back up. And that way everybody flies over to the new box. Everybody who was out comes over into the new box. And so what we're going to do, we're going to bring this over here, stir them up a bit. Now everybody's airborne, and they're returning back to where the box was. And only this time, it's the new box. we're going to try and hurry them up a bit, because it is, the rain's starting to come over. So this lid's going back on for now, and I will get them a new lid. That lid's pretty much cactus, I think. So these girls may or may not have a queen. It's just, it's not worth worrying about right now, because we've got more rain coming over, so we've got to be quick about it. So we'll just set that there ready to go with me. Falls down. So as you can see, everybody's making their way in. Now, I did have my queen excluder on, but that was between the lid and the box. So, you know, if you want to store your queen excluders, that's a good way to do it. You don't want to put it between them, between the bees and any food source. You want them to be able to move between, if you've got like 2 boxes or whatever of food on them, and you want them to be able to, in winter, you want them to be able to move between those, so they can cluster up together and the queen can go with them and that. So, but for now we're taking this home, needs a clean, so you can see this hive definitely needs some work, needs clean. We need to put some ventilation in the baseboard as well, and yeah. It's time this hive went home and had a full recondition. My smoker's gone out, so what I might do is light it again and just give them some smoke, just get them moving. Alright, so it looks like the smoker doesn't want to light, the fuel's too wet. They're moving. And that's the march. You'll notice all the fanning as well, so they're just, they got a gland on their back that they emit a pheromone, and it's their orientation pheromone. So it's the way they communicate to the other bees, hey, over here, we're going in over here. So that's what they're doing. They're communicating to the other girls that we're moving over here. Just telling everybody where they're going. We're getting there. So on my previous video I discussed some issues with, well, some not issues with winter feeding. These girls, obviously they've had a problem with moisture, and it's not because we've fed them. Now, we did feed them a little bit a couple of weeks ago. Not that they need any more now, because they are bringing in nectar right now. And they got a bit of a store up. So we did give them a bit of food, but it just goes to show they can have a moisture problem even if you don't feed them. It's not related to feeding at all. I mean, like I said, there's no, this hive box has very poor ventilation, and really that's what it came down to. Really poor ventilation, and they're pulling air in and then not being able to sort of drag it out fast enough, and so of course the moisture was condensing in the hive and not outside the hive. So, and I discussed you know, humidity and all that, how that relates to your hive in that previous video, but this is an example of, you know, what you got to try and avoid. And look, admittedly this should have been done sooner, but yeah, I only became aware of the problem in this hive a few weeks ago, and we really haven't had the weather to do it. But honestly, I can't leave it any longer, so these girls need to, they need a new box, and this needs to go in for a refurb. So, like I said, today's not the ideal conditions, but we managed to get it done before the rain came. Moved quickly, and there's no brood really to worry about, you know, getting cold. So give these girls a little bit of encouragement. So you'll see some of them are a bit unsure about it. This box doesn't smell like their hive, so they're a bit unsure. Doesn't smell exactly like their hive. It does smell like a beehive, because this has had bees in before, but it doesn't smell like them. So they're a bit unsure, but then they meet their family and meet the other girls from their hive, and then they're like, yeah, okay, this is our hive. So we're moved boxes. So it's just the last few on the box now. Virtually nobody in here. I think we're good to, what we'll do, shake them off. They'll go airborne and so there we go. Everybody's settling into the hive. That's a mouse guard. We don't really need to put it back on this one. I think they're pretty safe from mice. So for the finishing touch, just got to add my license number and the hive number to the box, and then we're done. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and I'll keep these videos coming.